Dak Prescott getting a little emotional when he talked about his buddy Zeke Elliott. Elliott and Zach were both drafted by the Cowboys back in 2016. Zeke went in the first round, going fourth overall. Dak in the fourth round at 135. They have been two peas in a pod ever since, but that all changed when the Cowboys announced they released Elliott after 7 seasons and 2 rushing titles. He was pretty much a salary cap casualty, but Zeke's declining production didn't help much. Dak got a little choked up during a community event in Dallas when asked about the boys getting rid of Zeke.
Yeah, tough. Yeah, it really is. It's tough. A brother, playing the game with a brother, being able to start this NFL career and share so many memories and grow up as men with this organization. I really can't imagine taking the field without him. Something I don't know if it's completely hit me yet. Obviously, I've talked to him. I'm hurt. I'm sure he is, but it's more importantly for me just to be able to support him. I know he's got more opportunities coming his way, and love that guy. Proud of him. Number one supporter in here for him, no matter what.
The move even got former Cowboy great Tony Dorsett's attention. He tweeted, "Thanks, Ezekiel Elliott, for all the excitement you brought to the Dallas Cowboy fans. Good luck and Godspeed." San Antonio's Brahmas are back home after 3 straight road games. They host the Arlington Renegades this weekend. The Brahmas are 1-3, coming off back-to-back losses, 22-13 at Houston and 15-6 last weekend in Seattle. San Antonio is struggling, so maybe playing in the Dome will get them going.
I'm super excited to get back down to San Antonio and, get another opportunity to play in front of our home crowd. And we fell short the first time playing in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome, and so I know that our players are eager to get back down there and see if we can get our first win at the Alamo Dome.
San Antonio is going to host Arlington Sunday night, 8 o'clock in the Dome on Military Appreciation Evening. And the XFL reinstated Orlando Guardians quarterback Quentin Dormandy after his name was cleared. He was accused of sharing his team's plays with the opposition. The XFL hired an outside law firm to investigate, and they found no evidence to back up that claim.
Snoring is common, but it could be more than just an annoying habit. How to know when snoring is actually a sign of something more serious.
And new today at 5, with all the uncertainty about the banking system following the fallout of Silicon Valley Bank, many consumers are concerned about their funds. Today at 5, hear from a banking expert on how to make sure you're banking in a safe way.
Silicon Valley Bank's former parent company has filed for bankruptcy protection. Meanwhile, banks are making unprecedented moves to shore up U.S. banking systems. Here's ABC's Rebecca Jarvis with how major banks are now trying to keep another bank from collapsing.
Some of the largest banks in the country racing to save First Republic as it teeters on the verge of collapse. Major financial institutions including J.P. Morgan, Citigroup, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo banding together to pump $30 billion into First Republic to help save it. The extraordinary joint action trying to defend the entire U.S. banking system against panic by refusing to let First Republic fail. The deepening crisis leaving some customers rattled.
What are you doing with the people that are investing with you? Because you make it sound like you have everything covered, but at the same time, it feels like they're just playing with our cash.
The news coming after reports from the Wall Street Journal that top executives at First Republic sold $12 million in stock in the months leading up to the crash. First Republic telling us they have no comment. It's been just a week since the sudden failure of Silicon Valley Bank. The Department of Justice and the Securities and Exchange Commission are now conducting independent investigations into the collapse. Sources tell ABC News the FBI's early focus is on Silicon Valley Bank's leadership and whether there's any evidence of possible insider trading. On Broadway, many productions reportedly scrambling after the closure of Signature Bank, a medium-sized New York-based bank used by as many as half of all Broadway shows. But on Thursday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen reassuring a Senate panel.
I do believe the banking system in the United States is sound and resilient.
That was ABC's Rebecca Jarvis reporting.
The FCC says it's seen a surge of consumer complaints in recent years tied to unwanted robo-texts. And now it's hoping new rules will help cut down on the spam messages. The new rules require phone providers to block text messages from suspicious sources, including phone numbers that appear to be invalid, unallocated, or unused. Carriers will also have to block texts coming from numbers that claim not to ever send text messages or that government has identified as numbers not used for texting. The SEC also considering additional regulations that could, among other things, apply do not call registry protections to text messages for the first time. The FAA is proposing to greatly increase the recording capacity of cockpit voice recorders in the wake of recent near collisions. The agency held an emergency aviation safety summit this week where it proposed lengthening cockpit voice recorder time to 25 hours. Right now, the recorders only capture the most recent 2 hours of sound in the cockpit. The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating recent runway incursion incidents at airports around the country, but it says because of the 2-hour limit, cockpit audio recordings are not available in all of them.
Now, if you're heading downtown for St. Patrick's Day festivities, don't forget that jacket.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget the jacket because it is much colder right now compared to where we were this time yesterday. In fact, by about 10 to 20 degrees, in some spots about 25 degrees. So yes, St. Patrick's Day has somewhat of a winter-like feel in place this Friday. And really that's going to be the theme into this weekend as well as some additional chances for some rain out there. Right now we are in the low 50s here in Bexar County this lunchtime hour, 50 over at Randolph, 51 at Kelly, 52 on the south side over at Stinson, and 50 officially over at SA International. Now, as we head into this afternoon, overall daytime highs topping off well below average for this time of year. Our average high is 74 degrees for context, more in the mid, maybe upper 50s, depending on the cloud cover out there over the next several hours. Now, unseasonably cold conditions Saturday and Sunday, even into Monday. We're talking highs in the upper 40s and low 50s out there. That is thanks to additional cloud cover and, yes, the potential for some additional scattered rain, especially overnight tonight and into the first half of the day tomorrow, where we could find a few flakes try and mix in with some of that rain across portions of the hill country, and just a few more isolated to scattered chances for rain into Sunday and Monday of next week. Now, in terms of our temperatures, yes, it will be cold in the mornings. In fact, this weekend lows are in the upper 30s and low 40s. But how about this for your temperature trend? Still below average into Monday of next week and even into Tuesday, but we're a little bit warmer, jumping up into the low 60s. Spring-like conditions return, though, as well as the humidity Wednesday and into Thursday, ahead of potentially another front that moves in by late next week. So we'll get you all the details. We'll detail that weekend forecast, what you need to keep with you as well, coming up here in just a few, guys.
Thank you, Mia. Now, there's a growing shortage of pediatric hospital beds. According to the American Hospital Association, only 37% of hospitals in the U.S. now offer pediatric services. That's down 42% from a decade ago. Not only that, experts say there is a shortage of doctors and technicians to treat ailing children. Then there's the money issue. Medicaid reimburses doctors at a lower rate for children. Sometimes hospitals have to put adults in pediatric beds for financial reasons.
Millions of people snore in their sleep, but could that snoring be a sign of something more serious? Alyssa Cole takes a look at the signs that your snoring could be pointing to health risks.
It can be annoying and disruptive to sleep.
Snoring by itself really is not much of a problem.
But the doctor says it can be a sign of obstructive sleep apnea, when muscles that support soft tissues in your throat relax, closing your airways so that breathing is temporarily cut off. People with this condition may make gasping or snorting noises while sleeping.
Sleep apnea does not result in people choking to death or dying in their sleep, but what happens is the airways closing off, and that can trigger them to wake up, even if they're not aware of it. Essentially, you're choking throughout the night, and it's almost as if your body is fighting against itself.
The doctor says that can raise blood pressure and heart rate. Over time, that takes a toll on your body and can lead to heart attacks or stroke.
If you snore and you're tired, or if you snore and you have other conditions associated with sleep apnea, for example, like diabetes or hypertension, you may want to get it tested because the snoring in that case could be representative of sleep apnea.
So the snoring's waking you up.
If sleep apnea is diagnosed, a CPAP machine can be worn at night.
It's going to blow pressurized air in here, which then goes all the way down to the back of the throat, and it's going to force the airway open. The snoring will be eliminated, but more importantly, the sleep apnea will also be eliminated.
Alyssa Cole, KSAT12 News.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say treatment of other medical problems like congestive heart failure may also help resolve sleep apnea.
Ted Lasso fans, how would you like to spend the night at AFC Richmond's favorite pub? The Crown and Anchor could be open for your next trip across the pond, but you'll have to travel on some specific dates. And a person visiting a state park walked away with a special souvenir, and it's worth several $1,000s.
Ted Lasso fans getting a chance to get real close to the action.
AFC Richmond's favorite pub is going on Airbnb for 3 nights. May the Gritty pub owner on the show will be the host at the Crown and Anchor. You and up to 3 friends can have a pint, play darts, and even try some of Ted's famous biscuits with tea. The 3 nights available are October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The listing goes live on Airbnb on March 21st.
You know it's going to cost you something, all right? The price, £112. That's about $136 in American money. Transportation to Richmond, England, not included either.
And a large diamond has been discovered at a state park in Arkansas.
Wow. David Anderson visited the crater of Diamond State Park in Pike County when the park says he discovered 3.29 carat brown diamond. Wow. It is the largest diamond found there this year, but it is not the first diamond Anderson has found at the park. He says he has discovered more than 400 diamonds over the past 16 years, including 15 weighing over 1 carat.
His largest may be a 6.19 carat white gem he discovered back in 2014.
He didn't say how much they're worth, though.
I bet it's expensive.
Buck or two. Scientists think they have found proof there may have once been water on Mars.
They discovered what appears to be the remains of a glacier near the red planet's equator. That ice is no longer there, but evidence it may have once been in the form of salt deposits, which appear to have been pushed by a moving glacier. Researchers also found deep wedge-shaped openings. Those form inside glaciers.
They believe that those features were preserved when materials from a nearby volcano came into contact with the ice. If there really was a glacier there, that means there might still be water somewhere on Mars. And there might be some Martians out there, you know, where there's water.
Sure.
It could be life.
Yeah, that is
Martians,
true.
I'm telling you.
That is true. We do need water for
that's
that.
That's why we need to go to Mars and find out.
There you go. You gonna go?
If I can come back, I
was going to say, are you signing yourself up for that mission? Okay, back here on planet Earth, especially here in South Central Texas, colder compared to where we were this time yesterday. Right now we're at 50 degrees officially. This time yesterday, we were checking in at 70 degrees here in San Antonio. Chilly morning low of 43. That's actually below average for this time of year. We will be below average in terms of our daytime highs as well. That theme continues over the next few days. And then we'll start to see some warmer than average temperatures creep back into the forecast, but not until the middle of next week. Also some chances for rain. We're going to detail all of that once again coming up here after the break.
Welcome back. Celebrations are happening right now, right here in downtown for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, the river's turning green here in a few minutes, and a lot of folks are going to be headed downtown, and a lot of folks are going to go, whoa, it's a little chilly out here for things.
Yeah, exactly. St. Patrick's Day plans, Friday evening plans, weekend plans, definitely going to want the long sleeve and really the jacket for a good portion of the weekend, and probably the umbrella just in case. Now, let's get you to what we're going to be monitoring here pretty closely over the next several days. So starting off with tonight, really after dinner time, especially across our western counties, we'll start to see some scattered rain move in from the west, cross over the Rio Grande, and then that's going to increase in coverage a bit more as we head into the early morning hours of our Saturday, with some lingering showers possible throughout the first half of the weekend as well. And yes, we will be monitoring for a few snowflakes because the temperatures above our heads in the atmosphere, very, very cold to mix in with some of that liquid rain. But again, no travel impacts expected from that. That lingers through the first half of the day on Saturday. Now into Sunday and even into Monday as well. Unseasonably cold conditions. Again, morning lows in the upper 30s and low 40s. Very cold for this time of year. Transitioning to daytime highs in the upper 40s and low 50s out there. So that chilly feel will continue. And again, it will be damp at times with additional chances to find some isolated showers on Sunday. We've got it about a 30% potential, and then some scattered showers as we head into Monday for the first official day of spring. And speaking of the first official day of spring, while it won't feel like it on Monday, we will start to see those spring-like conditions return by the middle of next week. But yes, the winter-like conditions we have in place right now, all following that cold front, pretty potent front that moved in very, very early this morning. You can see here as of the lunchtime hour, that front continues to work its way across the eastern half of the lower 48 this Friday, bringing with it some rain and some thunderstorms across portions of Louisiana, stretching over to Mississippi as well as Alabama. Temperature-wise, still warm and muggy on the front side of that system, but where the boundary has already moved through, including the Lone Star State, much colder conditions in place. 50 right now here in San Antonio. Check out Amarillo up in the Panhandle. They were below freezing earlier this morning. Right now sitting at 38 degrees. Marfa also warming a few degrees compared to what we saw earlier this morning. Now checking in at 36, 51 over in Del Rio. Here closer locally in San Antonio, 50 in New Braunfels, 52 on the south side of Bexar County at Stinson, 45 in Bernie, just 2 degrees warmer up I-10 in Kerrville. And of course, it is still a little bit breezy out there as well. So some of those wind chill factors still in place this hour. Now into the afternoon, those temperatures climbing into the mid, some upper 50s possible here in Bexar County. Again, dependent on the cloud cover, around 55 by 6 p.m. And then as we head into your Friday evening plans, those temperatures come down, upper 40s, low 50s here in San Antonio. Chilly out there, and especially later tonight. That's when we start to see those rain chances increase yet again. So we'll time that out for you in just a second. But once again, to check in at some of those winds, because yes, this morning, incredibly gusty, just kind of greeted you when you stepped outdoors. 32 mile per hour wind gust reported in New Braunfels, 28 mile per hour wind gust in Gonzales, 21 mile per hour is the current wind gust over there in Del Rio. So not as bad as what we were seeing earlier in the day. And generally into this afternoon, it will still be breezy out there, but those wind gusts are going to come down as well, maybe more to the tune of about 20 to 25 miles per hour there throughout the second half of this Friday. Into the weekend, you can see those chilly conditions that can continue, upper 30s, low 40s in the mornings, transitioning to the low 50s here in San Antonio each afternoon. Again, there's that 30% chance for a few showers on Sunday, but Saturday is, of course, where we're really going to be watching the radar and what we find out there, especially by sunrise tomorrow morning. So we'll once again time this out. Latest version of your futurecast depicting what the radar could look like here over the next 24 hours. This is 3 p.m. We're pretty quiet out there this afternoon. Not much going on in terms of rain activity, but it's after we move through the dinner time frame around 6 to 7 p.m. You can see there some of that scattered rain that's pushing eastward, crossing over the Rio Grande near Uvalde, Del Rio, stretching down to Eagle Pass by about 7 p.m. And then as we advance this on in time, after midnight into the early morning hours of our Saturday, around 2 a.m. and in around the San Antonio area, some scattered rain certainly possible. And initially, it's up in the hill country. Before the sun comes up tomorrow morning, we will need to monitor for a few snowflakes mixing in with some of that cold rain that could inch its way down into the northern portions of Bexar County throughout the first half of the day tomorrow. Again, a light frosting certainly possible across elevated as well as grassy surfaces there. But then after lunchtime, whatever is left on the radar transitions to liquid rain. No travel impacts there. It's just going to be cold out there this weekend. That continues into the beginning of next week. And then as we see the humidity return, those temperatures creep back up into the low 60s by Tuesday and then into the 70s on Wednesday. We're going to take a step aside. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back. Green is the color today.
It's Jen Ostreski and Mike Ostrage.
Or Mikos, whichever, something like that. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day, and boy, the luck of the Irish is with us today. And a little bit of magic too, not from leprechauns though.
No, not from leprechauns, from Lindsay Noel and Francis Minotti joining us. They have a big show this weekend, and you're going to give us a sample.
A four-leaf clover here, yeah?
Yeah,
Close
very
enough,
Irish,
right?
very Irish.
Yes.
What did you take that for? Yeah. There we go.
Magically changed.
In the world.
We are going to see more magic tricks like that coming up from this married magic couple. Also, the magic of Irish dance is going to be on the show today, and we have got some beautiful dancers that are going to be tapping away. These are the Innisfree dancers.
Yes, Innisfree School of Irish Dance. So excited.
We may learn a couple of these steps as well from these ladies and gentlemen.
And to wash everything down, Tullamore Dew is showing us some whiskey-inspired cocktails.
And then that's going to wash down some great sandwiches over at the Hayden, and we're going to make a little Irish soda bread and, of course, a corned beef sandwich.
Ooh, also some music from St. James's Gate. The Irish band is performing for us. Get you in the spirit, right, for St. Patrick's Day.
That and a whole lot more. A bunch of Irish events this weekend. That's coming up on SA Live.